Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Introduction to Linux Lesson 3. Today we're going to study file operations. This one's here. As you know that I'm following the desktop summary. So let's continue on. So the first command we're going to learn today is mount. So what does it do? It mount command is mounts the file, the disks, the USBs, and all other devices on your system. Plus, it can be used. It has more options to do, not just mounting devices, but it can show you which are mounted and which are not. And actually, yeah, you use to mount the devices on your computer. So let's just try it first. So type mount, and then it spits out all the files that are actually mounted on the system. So this is the main. This is a directory, and it says on type external xt4. But yeah, this is a disk. This is showing which disk the system is mounted in. So it's actually a partition. It's a partition. SDA is a partition with some space. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm gonna show you something important. It has these other parts of the SDA, SDA 3, SDA 1 partitions on my computer. But okay, before I explain a little bit more in details, I need to show you the next command, what it does. It's called df, and with options of T and H, disk space usage. So if you type df space dash th, it will show you all the mounted devices on your computer. So I'll show you file system, type, size, etc. mounted on. So we have a main disk, which is, no, that's what it's called. And I mean, this is the system. This is not a main disk. Is the there's one disk, but this is partition is where the system is installed. So my system Linux is installed on this. Ubuntu Linux is installed on this partition, and this is the space and use space, and that's just some other space. And this is 31% being used, and you can see this. Means this is a root directory. So now, as you can see here, we have a ASDA6, but we don't have, from the previous when I showed you the when we use the mount, I show you the mount devices. You can see the dev SDA3 and dev SD1 missing. Now, these partitions are not properly mounted on the system. So what we're gonna do, I'll show you how to mount them. So to mount this partition, we should use we will use, first of all I want to show you where I want to mount them. I want to mount them on disk 1 and disk 2. This is just the folders. So we want to mount these partitions, SDA1 and SDA3. Okay, so how do you do it? Pretty simple. You just type mount, or actually no, you have to be a root. We didn't cover this yet, but I think we're gonna do this soon. But I'll just do it quickly, because you need to be a root in order to mount those partitions. You have to be system administrator. So what we do is just need to need to use one command in front of sudo. So sudo, and then we need to type mount, and then we need to type which system partition it is. Is dev SDA1, and we want to mount this to the disk 1 folder. And now it's asking for password. I need to put a password, because this is a okay, it doesn't like the my password. Okay, hang on. So just give me a second. I need to change the root directory. Okay, no, it doesn't like it. Just give me a second. I'll pause this, because there's a problem. Doesn't want doesn't want to let me do that. Just pause for a second. Okay, I had to do a lot of stuff in order to change the root. So I changed the root. We'll explain the root later, but I just want to show you what does the command do. So I changed to root. As you can see, here is root at the computer's name. So so mount. So what we need is we want to mount a disk. So mount. So that's we need to mount dev SDA1 and SDA3. So as you can see, again, typing df that shows you. Actually, it shows now the devices, but I don't think they mounted properly. It doesn't say that they mounted properly. Anyway, so so you type mount, then you type dev SDA1, and then we need to put it to a disk, so-called disk 1. So and that will work, and then do the same for mount dev SDA3 and put it to disk 2. So now this no, I need to exit as a root. Now this shows that our system is mounted on disk 1 and disk 2, these two partitions. Now I'll show you what they are. Now here we have this is one partition, this is another partition, this is the main computer, and you can see, like, if for example, as before, I don't think you can, if you could paste a file in there, like for example, well, now you can, but you can see that it should appear on disk 1. Yeah, should appear. Now you can see that these partitions are mounted to a particular folder. Like on this my computer, this partition is mounted to disk 2. So I can access all the files or backup files here without actually going into the partition. I know that it's mounted to this folder. So that's what you need to do with some, because if you don't do this, then you will not have access to your, if you try to access your partitions, you will not be able to access them from anywhere, pretty much. So you need to mount them first. So that's what the mount command is used. This is probably one of the best examples of what you need to do. Now, okay, this is you can unmount this. It's just unmounted, but as you can see now, it's unmounted, and you can see if you type mount, oh sorry, df th option, these are actually showing that they are mounted to disk 1 and disk 2, which is good, and this shows you the type of partition, and this is showing the disk usage. So this is 1.4 terabyte I have on disk 2. So yeah, now you can access them through my computer and disk 2 and paste something in there, and there you go. These are your partitions. They're there. Now, okay, I think that summarizes it. Now, just give me a second. So that's what mount used for. Now, let's move on. So I need to change the root back to my original home folder. Before we do that, I don't have to be a root anymore. So just pause for a second and change that. Okay, now starting fresh and moving on to the next command. So the next command is called diff command. It compares files and directories. So it compares the differences between text files, or not just text files. I think can be used. There's many options. It's quite powerful. Can be used with, with other files as well. So how do you use it? Actually, first of all, I want to show you the text file. So we need to change the directory to Linux. Now ls all, and what are the files? Okay, text1.txt, text2.txt. This is the file. So don't worry about this command yet. We covered it, viewing files in the command line operator. So just type in cat test1.txt. That will show you the file. So here we have apples, oranges, watermelon, grapes, banana, kiwi, pineapple, strawberries. Now the same we'll do with text2.txt. We will compare these files later. So here we have apple, oranges, watermelon, onion, potato, kiwi, tomato, and the strawberries. Now, what does diff command do? It compares these two files, the lines of these two files, and it prints out the output of the differences in these two files. So we use diff, and we type text1.txt and text2.txt, and that will give us this output will give us, obviously shows you. So here we have grapes and bananas. So the first file missing where should be grapes and bananas. The second file has onions and potatoes. So and then it tells us that then we have also missing a pineapple where should be a pineapple. There's a tomato instead. So this is just showing which what are the differences in the in between two files. So exactly as it is. So we have grapes and bananas, we have onions and potato, and where we should have a pineapple, we have a tomato. So that's what it does. It just shows you that you can use it for really large files to see the differences. Now there's a diff3 command, which is the next one that we'll learn with diff3. Diff3 just simply compares three text files. So you have text file 1.txt, just text file 2.txt, and text file 3.txt, which I don't have, I didn't create, but this is just does the same thing with the three files, except two files. So just that's what it does, but I don't have a text3 file, so there's nothing to compare with. Now there's a patch command. The patch command uses usually used with the diff command, but what it does, it's apply the patch to original file. So let's just try and see what it does. So say patch, type in text1.txt, and we want to apply patch to the text1.txt file from the text2.txt. So let's just see what it does. Page only garbage is found in the page input. I don't know what it does. Just only no. Let's just check the man command for a second. For patch, I think it should be using some option, which I forgot. It's not as straightforward as I want it to be. Now patch it up. It's a lot of stuff here. Gotta go back to the top and see if there's a option. of options here. Oh yeah, this one I need to use. Yep, I think that's the one I use C for this. So let's try this again. Patch C text 1.txt text 2.txt. Same thing again. I don't know why it does this. That's really strange. This should work. Maybe I'm not doing something. Okay, just give me a second. I just pause for a second. Okay guys, obviously I was doing something wrong. I need to create a patch file before I use the patch command. So how do we do that? Okay, so remember we use the diff command and we compared two files, but this time we need to use a unified option to create a patch file. So we use a diff command to test the difference between text 1.txt between apples, between fruits, and the other file which has vegetables in it. So here we have a text1.txt, then we compare it with a text2.txt file, and we create a patch file, patch called different diff file, so with the extension diff. So this creates a patch file. Now this patch file which is used now, remember, if you have a look at text.txt, text1.txt, you will see apple, orange, watermelon, grapes, bananas, kiwi, pineapple, strawberries. Now and text2.get text2.txt, you can see that we have apple, orange, watermelon, onions, potatoes. We have onions, and the difference between them was text1.txt and text2.txt was this. So we have grapes, bananas, missing where should be onions and potatoes, we should have grapes and bananas, and where we have a pineapple, or where we have a tomato, we should have a pineapple, vice versa, either way. So now we have created a patch file. So how do we use it, and what does it do? What it does is creates the patch file is used to, it stores all this output, all output in the file, and when we use the patch command, it patches the difference, or it changes the original file, changes the original files to a new files. So just type in patch, and we need to put a less than, and then just put a patch.diff, and now it says patching file text1.txt, and you can see now, let's just see what the output is. Get text1.txt, and here we have it changed the files from apples, oranges, watermelon to onion, potato. So it changed the grapes, and so changed the original file to this new file. And if we use the diff command, now diff command text1.txt and text2, obviously if you use a text, if you use this is usually apply not small files like this, but huge files where you can you can't trace the output, but it will give you all the output you need. So now this check the difference between text1 and text2.txt. As you can see, there is no difference, it doesn't show you anything. So these are identical files now. So that's what patch is used for. Pretty simple actually, but I wasn't sure how to use it exactly, but now I know, and so do you. Now let's move on. Okay, so the next command we use a zip file commands. There's 4 different commands you can use: gzip, gzip, gunzip. So this is unzips the file. Then we use a bzip and bunzip, etc. So there's a gzip, bzip2, xz, and and just simple zip. All of them, you can use either one of them. Mainly, you can read more about them yourself. I'll just show you one example because they pretty much use the same principle. This used almost identical. I think they use identically, but the reason why I don't want to show you because they are identical, but when you use different files you want to zip, it just depends on the sizes of the files and whether they you know, text files or so. You can see the regular zip compression. This is just a regular zip compression. We have a space efficient compression, we have a small compressions, and we have compression for expanded files. So I'll just use the first one, the gzip, to show you how to compress the file. So let's just, for example, for a second, I'll show you. I have like a my test file, my test.txt, and if I want to compress, a pretty straightforward procedure. Just type g, or actually just yeah, gzip, and type the name of the file, my test.txt, and obviously it does something, and we'll just see what it does. Now type ls all, check the list, and you can see that my test.txt with the extension gz. You will see this extension, a lot of these extensions in Linux and Unix. This is so this file is compressed now. So if you want to uncompress it, you can use either gunzip command, that should work. My test.txt.gz, that should work. Just see if it works. Yeah, it's uncompressed now. And let's just compress it again and show you. There's an also option if you go to manual pages and type gzip. I think there might be different options for different zip commands, for different zip command file, but they're pretty much all similar. So but this one here, you can use decompression. You can use a decompression command, command to decompress it. So let's just compress for a second again, gzip, and compressed my test.txt, that's compressed, and let's see, ls all, there we go, it's compressed again. Here we go. And if you want to decompress, you can just use gzip option, and with -d and the name of the file, my test.txt.gz extension, and ls all, and you can see it's decompressed now. So you can use either gunzip or whether you can use options. I'm not sure if other compressions use the same packaging compress archive file. So this is can use archive files. There's many other options, but yeah, I think it's not quite the same as the other ones because it uses different options. So anyway, you can research it yourself, but they are pretty much, that's how they use, pretty simple. Zip and unzip. Now let's move on to archiving utility, which called tar command, the last command in our file operations called archiving utility. So what's the tar command? Let's just manual for a second. Okay, tar is the GNU version of the tar archiving utility. So so let's create a new archive. Yeah, so I think we need to use option C. Let's just try that. Use tar, new option, and call this text. We'll just put these two files, text1.txt and text2.txt, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, actually just pause for a second and see what's the next thing is. Okay, okay, so actually it's not quite this. I need to create new archive utility with the files, with the file name, we call it archive.tar. It has to be this yeah, this is a name for this archive, and we put these two files, text1.txt and text2.txt, in that archive. So text, oh, I must have spelled it wrong. Yeah, spell this. It didn't like this text. Now it should work. Okay, now let's just have a look what's going on. Now where is this archive thing? There you go, it's at the top. So yeah, so let's just see what's inside. Actually, just give manual pages for tar for a second. How to view the files in archive. Create a new file, find a user and delete. Okay, here, list the contents of the archive. Okay, so now tar t and the name of archive.tar. Maybe I did something wrong, I don't know, not quite sure. Takes a while to open these two simple files. Okay, hang on. Okay, I don't know why it does this. LS why issue. Yeah, it should be alright. Now okay, so maybe I'm not sure why this command has only listed the contents of an archive, but if you want to extract files, let's just see if this works. Extract files from the archive. I just pause this for a second. Okay, so if you want to see the archive, we need to type tar, then we put tvf options. There's more options needs to be used, and then we need to put a name of an archive. It's a bit more complicated this command is than any other command, so because there's a lot of options need to be used together. So T and V and F for the file, and here we go. So it's just showing you we have, that's what's it's in archive. This is an archive. We have a text1 txt and text2 txt, which was created on this date, this month, this date, this year, this time, and at that time they were archived. So oh, actually no, they were, yeah, they were, I think, a slightly time difference. Yeah, I think they just created this. Yeah, these files show the creation of the files, of these files. Now yeah, so this is how you use the tar command. You can read more about manual pages about how to use them, use it, and use it in the tar command. So tvf options is used for listing the contents of archive, and then we use the, what else was there, f option. There's all these options here. You need to read about file, archive files, device archive, use archive file or device archive, F, and the U option, V option, sorry, to view the files. I think that's what it's used for. Anyway, somewhere here, there, verbosely list the file process. So that's how you view the archive. Now, okay, so we've done here for file operations, and next I will move on to text editors. Okay, thank you very much, thanks for watching, and you have a good one. Please like, comment, and add some comments, and if you like it, just put it up. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.